Thank you, Jay, for joining us. If you have a question on the call, please raise your hand. We'll get started with Lauren and then Michelle.
Thanks, Rafa. Hi, Jay.
Hi.
We haven't played New York Red Bulls this season, but you are familiar with this opponent, playing them before in the MLS. Can you talk about tomorrow's match and the team's approach to tomorrow's match as well?
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult match, obviously, with such a quick turnaround for us. We're going to need to call on everybody, and it's going to be one of those matches that, we're going to have to grind through to try and get a result. We have a lot of guys that are, either coming back from injury or dealing with little things. So it's going to be a game where we're all going to need to, step up and get a result. It's a very important game for us, as every game is, this time of year. So I think they played as well the other day. So, they'll be dealing with, some minor aches and pains the same as we are. So, I think if anything in these past few games and this kind of great stretch that we've been on, it's that we'll do anything we can to get a result. So I think you'll see that tomorrow, and I think that's the mentality of the group right now. So.
All right. Next question, Michelle, then Franco.
Hey, Jay, I have two. They're kind of related, but one is Phil just told us that he was just talking to us about that point after the New England game that was, the team hit rock bottom. And basically the message was, he didn't come here to fail and that the rest of you didn't want to fail and that you had to completely change from a group of talented individuals to a team. Can you just talk about that transformation? And then the second part is, even though you guys have been winning the last few games, the scoring has dried up a little bit from earlier in the streak when you guys were, scoring 2-3 goals a game during the beginning of the streak. Can you just talk about those two topics?
Yeah, absolutely. To the first question, I think, I think Phil honestly hit the nail on the head. Is that I think if you look at our roster and kind of how we've been built, is that we have a lot of quality. We have a lot of very good players, and I think I even mentioned this at the beginning of the year, but we weren't playing like a team. We didn't. There wasn't that kind of bond that we have now, and I think you could see that in games. We would kind of, if we ever dealt with adversity in a game, if we'd go down, we'd kind of just shut down and not try and help each other. And I think you're seeing a team now that has really fallen in love with winning, and I think that's a very powerful thing. If you lose consecutive games in a row, it's easy to kind of just shut down and start blaming people. And I think the fact that we've been able to go on a run and kind of piece consecutive victories together, this team has found that kind of that joy in winning, and I think that's brought us closer together. You can see it in the locker room. Guys from different backgrounds are communicating more. There's more laughter going on. There's more, kind of camaraderie in training, and it's a very powerful thing, and I think you're seeing it out on the field. So it's been great, just being a part of it. And I think we're a long way from where we need to be, and I think that's the greatest part, is that everybody knows that. Nobody in the locker room is satisfied with where we are. Being Inter Miami, we're a team that needs to be fighting for titles every single year. That's what David expects. That's what Phil expects. That's what everybody at the club expects. So, we're definitely heading in the right direction, but we still have a lot of work to do. And the locker room is very focused, and it's been a fun ride, and we look forward to these next kind of couple matches that can really kind of put us up there at the top of the table, hopefully. So, and the second question, sorry, can you?
About the attack drying up a little bit.
Oh yeah, about the attack. I think that's definitely due to a few factors. I think obviously there's been a few rotations, and which is good, because I think there's a lot of people that deserve to play in this team, and with that can come a little unfamiliarity with certain guys. There's say a guy like Gonzalez used to getting a ball from say Kelvin, and then you put Lewis there, or that switches. Things change. But I think also, we've been really trying to grind out these results, and we've had a few away games, and those don't always look the prettiest, and it's just about getting results at this point. I think we're starting to get some guys back in the fold as well, and we've had a lot of games, so. I think once the kind of schedule maybe slows down a bit, we're able to get full weeks of training, and we can kind of get back onto the training pitch and just really kind of hone in on the things that have been making us successful. But yeah, I think I don't think it's nothing really to worry about. Gonzalo's been flying all year. Even when Hooley's come in, he's been great. Robbie's great up there. And Roto's been amazing these past few games as well. So I think it has to do with tired legs as well. We've been playing a ton of games, and so when you enter these games, you're not always the sharpest that you need to be. But the most important thing, as I said, is getting these results. So.
Next question, Franco, then Dairon.
Thank you, Rafa. Hey, Jay, good to get back home and play in front of the Canadians again.
Yeah, it was amazing, man. It was the first time that I've played there, and the first time I've ever seen the away locker room. So it was a bit surreal, but yeah, it was good to play. I had some friends and family there, so it was nice.
Nice. Just wanted to ask you about something you just touched on a little bit with Michelle's question about the turnaround. And obviously there's been talk about the ping pong table and obviously just the better mood inside the locker room. What do you attribute that to? Is it just winning? What is it that helped you guys flip that switch? Because the turnaround has been very drastic from where you guys were at the end of July after that 5-0 loss to where you guys are now, the run of form you guys are in now.
Yeah, it's a good question. And yeah, I think it's a little bit back to what I was saying to Michelle, is that in this league, it's all about kind of going on these runs, and I think if you lose consecutive games, you start to kind of you can head in a downward spiral, and it's a dangerous thing to be in. But also, it's about being able to piece wins together and kind of get on a run. I think if anything in this league, you've seen the teams that win championships and do really well aren't always the teams that are winning supporter shields, winning being at the top of the table all year long. It's the teams that at the end of the year are able to play in big games and find ways to piece big results back to back to back. And I think you're seeing a team now that is really kind of understanding how to do that. Whether it's pretty or not, we are a team that we will fight to the end. And I think at the beginning of the year, we weren't a group of guys that were ready to kind of battle for each other. And I think Michelle was talking about it. Phil said that after the New England game, I think every single one of us had to take a look in the mirror and be like, we're at Inter Miami. This isn't good enough. And I think in my opinion, it took a little bit too long for some of us to realize that. And I think, but now I think everybody's realized that. And now that we're winning games, we're winning. Honestly, there's some games that we're scoring in the 96th minute, and maybe those are games that we tie, but we are finding ways to win those games, and that's very important. You can't in this league. It's not. It's going to be very tough to win every single game the way that you want to win it. The most important thing is winning, right? So. Yeah, it's been a crazy turnaround. Honestly, I've been asked that question a lot. Is what can you attribute to it? And honestly, there's many things. The ping pong table has helped. It's brought guys together, and it's honestly made a little bit of extra competitiveness. Outside of soccer, so it's good. It's brought guys together. The training quality has gone up a lot. Even guys like myself that haven't been getting a lot of starts or playing a lot. We're pushing the guys every single day. You have guys like Sammy Gadiri, Edinson Ascona, You know, these guys are coming in every day, pushing the guys that are playing, and that's a very big part, you know, of a winning team is making sure the guys that aren't, or making sure the guys that are playing every day, you know, aren't getting too complacent, and that they're all, you know, it's keeping them sharp. So that's been a big part of the change as well. And yeah, just, you know, you have to become addicted to winning. Once you start winning, you know, it becomes habit, and you know, you start to see results come. You know, that maybe at the beginning of the year we weren't able to get. So yeah, it's been great. But as I said, you know, as I said to Michelle, we're a long way from where we want to be as a club. You know, we want to be right at the top, and I think we're definitely on the right path, you know, to get there. But it starts with another big game tomorrow, you know, against New York.
Tyron?
Thank you, Rafa. Thank you, Jay, for taking the time to be here with us. Actually, my question was kind of similar to Franco, so I just had to improvise one.
Yeah.
And Anfield was talking to us about the possibility of Gregory missing the game tomorrow. It's not sure, but it's a possibility. And I wanted to ask you, you as a player, how do you feel like the probability of being without your captain? Because I cannot stop thinking how important it can be for you guys, this captain that you have right now, because all the wins that you have had, it has been under, or they have been under his captaincy. I don't know if that's the word. But basically that's the question, like how important is Gregory as a captain for you guys, for the team?
Yeah, Gregory's been, you know, one of our most important players all year, I think. And I mean, I don't know if he will play tomorrow, but you know, anytime you have a guy that is such a good guy, not only on the field but just in the locker room, and controls a lot of morale and the way that we do things here, yeah, you're gonna miss him. But you know, at this stage in the season, and you know, with the group of guys we have, you know, it's next man up, and you know, there's many players in this team that are able to do the job. So you know, if he doesn't play, absolutely we will miss him. We will miss his leadership. We'll miss his you know, tackling in the midfield, of course. You know, he's a beast in there, and he does a lot of the things that, you know, maybe go unsaid. So he's a massive part of our group. But you know, at the end of the day, nobody is bigger than the team, and the result is the most important thing. So if he doesn't play, you know, it's next man up. You know, there will be another guy in there that is ready to you know, give his heart for the team. So yeah, that's all I can say on that. But I mean, me personally, I hope he plays.
All right. Last two questions. Michelle, then Franco.
Hey, Jay, thanks again for all your good answers and perspective.
Yep.
I wanted to ask you what exactly are you expecting from the New York Red Bulls? What kind of opponent are they? I know you guys, you know, last year was a completely different team, but they have a different style of play usually than some of the other opponents. What are you expecting from them? And as someone who's been in the league for a long time and knows how it works, you know, what is this time of year like when you are, it's really a numbers game. You're in 5th place, then all of a sudden the next day you're in 8th, and you're trying to get to that magic number 7. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think the Red Bulls is always a tricky opponent to play, just because they are, you know, they've always been a team that is, you know, very high pressing, and that's kind of their MO. And you know, they're not always a team that really emphasizes having the ball. You know, they're a team that likes to create chaos by you know, transitions and winning second balls in advantageous areas, and kind of attacking off that. So I mean, they've had a few kind of coaching changes. You know, I think back when Jesse Marsch was there, I think that was their kind of pinnacle as to when they were doing things really well. But you know, the Red Bulls have always been the Red Bulls, and they're a very tough team to play. So you know, we'll be ready for them. You know, we do a lot of video, we do a lot of work on our opponents. So I think we'll we'll definitely know how to handle them. But it's going to be a game where we do need to be good with the ball, because if you make mistakes, they are ready to win the ball and attack very fast, and they have some good players that can hurt you. So. But I think at this point, and this kind of leads into your next question, I think at this point is we have to focus on ourselves, and what makes us good, and what's been getting us the results. And I think that's hard work. We've been showing quality, massive amounts of quality at times, and just doing anything we can to get the result. So I think that's the biggest thing. And just to kind of go more into your second question, at this time of year, it's I think I said it a little bit earlier. It's not always about playing the prettiest soccer or expecting everything to be perfect. It's about going on a run and learning. When you're playing these high pressure games, learning how to win as a team, how to see out results. Late when you're say up 1-0, how do you defend as a team? How do you ensure that you walk away with the result? And I think that's the most important thing. And I think that we're in a very good place right now because we've dealt with adversity at the beginning of the year. There's some teams that they come to the end of the year and they haven't played in these high pressure games where there's a lot on the line. And I think every game for Inter Miami this year has kind of we've been kind of on an uphill climb, and every game has mattered to us. So I think we're going to be well prepared as it goes later on down the season to play in these high pressured games, because we have big game players. There's a lot of experience on our team, a lot of guys that have played in big games, and I think it's going to help us, down the stretch. And it's also not focusing on where we're going to be. It's about taking one game at a time. That's the most important thing in this league. It's not about thinking, if you have a game on Wednesday, you're not thinking to Friday. It's about thinking about Wednesday and what you need to do, and then once Thursday comes, then you start to prepare for the weekend games. So just as a team, honestly, we're focused. We're taking every game as it comes. We're enjoying the process. Guys are having fun. We're enjoying winning. We're enjoying getting results. So we're in a good spot, and we're looking forward to this next stretch for sure.
Last question, Franco.
Thank you again, Rafa. Jay, obviously this good run of form is largely due to your guys' own merit, raising your performance levels, being tougher to break down. But do you also think that a contributing factor, I'll ask you just to speak for yourself, not for the entire team, but do you think that a bit of it has also been maybe the ball bouncing your way, calls starting to go in your favor, things kind of evening out in that sense? Obviously, at the beginning of the season, the Atlanta game comes to mind where there were maybe 3 handballs and none went your way. And then in this last game, that controversial play that Toronto thought was a goal. There was encroachment on the penalty kick as well that wasn't called. Do you think that that's kind of also helped, that things have started to even out in that manner? Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think, I think that's the beauty of football, is that, it's a game of moments, right? So I think honestly even leading back to last year and the beginning of this year, I think we kind of fell on the wrong side of a lot of those calls, undeservedly so. And I think now, we're starting to get some of those calls our way. And I think, none of us are sitting there being like, oh, we got really lucky. It's just, that's football. Sometimes the calls go your way, sometimes they don't. And I think for, many games for us, we have dealt with adversity, and we have, we've kind of felt that, luck hasn't been on our side. So the only thing to do at that point in time is to just keep working hard, and things will start to come your way. And I think you're seeing that. I don't think any game that we have won has been, by chance. I think it's been all due to, getting ourselves in in the right situations, to be lucky. I mean, if you don't get the ball around the net, it doesn't deflect off a defender on the other team and go in. It's nothing's by chance. It's putting yourself in situations, to either score yourself or get a lucky bounce here and there. And that's the beauty of football. No game is the same. There's something that can happen at any moment, but it's about the teams that are able to put themselves in positions to win, game in, game out. So, we have been getting a few lucky bounces, but I think we've earned that over the past few games. So, yeah.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you everyone for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thank you, guys.